Love lost. Strangers from now on, to celebrate the anniversary of my relationship with my boyfriend David. I was filled with anticipation and prepared early. But on our anniversary, I didn't see him all day. It wasn't until midnight that I finally got a call from him. He wanted me to pick him up. He was drunk. When I arrived, David was sleeping with his head on Ashley's lap, his face even buried in her embrace, and Ashley was part of David's clique, the group H supposedly grown up with. I didn't say hello, I just took David and left. On the way back, David's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. It was their clique's group chat, the one with 3 guys and 1 girl. David, didn't you say you were only dating her to get back at Ashley? Look at how nasty she was today. She'll never fit into our clique. David, don't forget what you promised us. Date her for a year and then dump her. Don't get so caught up playing her you forget the time. I stared intently at the screen, my breathing tight. Turns out, I had just been entertainment for their clique. Lost in thought, the taxi had already arrived downstairs from the apartment building. This apartment was new. I'd bought it to celebrate David and my anniversary, and because David said he liked it, I struggled to help him to the door. When I opened it, Buddy happily rushed out. He wagged his tail, constantly licking David's dangling hand. Buddy was the little dog my deceased parents left me. He was a stray before. Not some fancy breed, this guy. He was supposed to be my dog. But now he was closer to David than he was to me. Looking at Buddy, I could tell David had been good to him, but the next second, I remembered the group chat messages. My mind was a mess. I could only dump the drunk David onto the bed first, before David and I got together. I didn't know anyone in their clique at all, so how could I have possibly offended Ashley? As I was thinking, David, who was uncomfortable, started tearing at the clothes on his chest. His movements exposed the scar on his collarbone to my eyes. Even after a year, that scar was still so jarring. A year ago, I used the $1 million inheritance my parents left me to start a pet store. Business was pretty good, but it didn't last long. One evening after work, I was followed and assaulted by a man. David, who was a police officer, happened to show up and subdue the man, getting deeply stabbed in the collarbone during the struggle. The news of my assault instantly spread online, and netizens started victim blaming and public shaming me. David not only didn't care, but he also stayed by my side and took care of me while I was in the hospital. That's how we ended up together. He had always been nothing but good to me, except for having a clique I could never fit into. When I snapped out of it, David had sobered up quite a bit without me realizing. He picked up his phone to check the time and happened to see the group chat page had forgotten to close. He instantly looked up at me. You saw? Let me explain. I didn't refuse, just looked at him, motioning for him to continue. David immediately told me everything. Ashley had been pursuing a guy for a long time. That guy often came to my pet store, and under Ashley's questioning, he admitted he had a crush on me. The other 3 guys in their clique couldn't stand to see Ashley upset, so they came up with the idea to have David, the best-looking one, step in. Unexpectedly, fate had him accidentally rescue me. At first, we were just doing it for entertainment, but after I saved you, I was touched by your strength and cheerful personality. I really fell for you. I was surprised by his honesty. I subconsciously touched the ring hanging on the necklace around my neck, the one that was a size too big. I chose to forgive him, seeing that I wasn't going to pursue it. David breathed a sigh of relief. Tomorrow is our anniversary date. How about we make up for our anniversary too? I curved my lips and nodded in agreement. But the next day at the restaurant, David started playing on his phone again. I knew it was his clique's group chat again, the one with 3 guys and 1 girl. Usually I'd tolerate it, but not today. I snatched his phone away. David, it's been 20 minutes since we sat down at the restaurant. You haven't ordered or paid attention to me. What's so important to talk about with them? David seemed surprised by my action. His face darkened, and he reached out to snatch the phone back from my hand. He used force, leaving a red mark on the back of my hand. I'm not talking to anyone else. Look, it's just our clique's group chat. Can you stop being so suspicious? Come on, I'll apologize to them first. Apologize? I asked, confused. David ignored me and already picked up his phone to send them a voice message. It's not like I forgot my bros just because I have a girlfriend. Okay, I'll order a big meal for you guys right now, and an iced coffee or drinks for Ashley. After he finished speaking, he glanced at the menu, frowned, and got up directly. This place is too expensive. Let's go to another restaurant. I stared at David's receding back, feeling like I didn't know him anymore. Leaving the restaurant, I walked behind him, sulking. David suddenly stopped, and I bumped right into him. Let's go. Go in and get the flowers. Only then did I notice we were standing in front of a flower shop. David took my hand and led me inside. He gave the shop owner his phone number, as if afraid she'd get it wrong, and repeated it twice. The owner came out holding a bouquet of roses. It wasn't very large, but it was beautifully packaged. Sarah, happy anniversary date. I happily accepted the flowers David handed me. This was the first time he had given me flowers since we started dating. I thought a straight guy like him would never figure it out. Back home, David went to take a shower first. I arranged the flowers while scrolling through social media posts. Social media posts was very lively for the anniversary date, but when I saw Ashley's social media post, I froze. In the photo, she was holding a bouquet of roses just like mine, but much larger. No boyfriend on anniversary date. No problem. My good brothers send me flowers every year. Still holding onto a sliver of hope, I opened the delivery app to search for the shop and called them. I didn't ask directly. Instead, I gave David's phone number and said there was an issue with the flowers. As expected, the owner fell for it immediately. Which bouquet? The complimentary one? Didn't someone pick that up from the store? I didn't say anything and hung up the phone immediately. Looking at the flowers I had just cherished, at this moment, I felt like these flowers just a complimentary gift in their relationship. David came out after showering. Seeing me staring at the flowers, he thought I just loved them too much and didn't notice my mood at all. Ashley and the others said they want to apologize for what happened before and asked if we could have dinner together tomorrow. It wasn't asking for my opinion. It was informing me. I had met up with them a few times before, and it was always like this. I tried my best to be agreeable, wanting to make a good impression on David's friends, given they grew up together. I still nodded, unsure if I was holding on to hope or wanting to give up completely. David and I arrived at the restaurant as agreed. As soon as we walked in, we heard Mike, one of his friends, teasing, "David's really doing well for himself. Found a sugar mama. Look at the purse she's carrying, must be tens of thousands." Before I could say anything, Ashley spoke first. "Sarah has money, but even with all that money, she doesn't think about shaving her arm hair. It was hot today, so I had changed into a short sleeve top at the last minute." I awkwardly touched my arm. David realized Ashley's malice and pulled my hand, but then started explaining for her. "Ashley just speaks her mind. Don't take it personally." I forced a smile. "What if I do?" Probably not expecting me to stand up for myself like before. A hint of awkwardness flashed across Ashley's face, then turned into a look of being wronged. Instantly, the three guys, including David, rushed to comfort her, making it seem like I was in the wrong. "All right. I'm not as petty as some people. David, come on. Let's take a photo together. I'll use it to ward off unwanted attention." Saying that, Ashley moved closer to David, and they skillfully took several intimate photos. In one picture, Ashley even kissed David on the cheek. David indulged all her requests affectionately, seemingly forgetting that I, his girlfriend, was right there. After taking the photos, Ashley immediately posted them on social media posts, without blocking me. As soon as she posted, Mike and Chris commented immediately, teasing them. They didn't seem to care about me being there at all. Perfect couple. They look great together. If you ask me, only Ashley is good enough for David's looks. As if that wasn't enough, Ashley glanced at me and cooed at David. "David, you should post it too. The guy who's been bothering me knows you. I'm afraid he won't believe it if only I post." David didn't hesitate and immediately picked up his phone to draft a post. I gave a bitter smile. We had been together for a year, and David had never posted anything about me on social media posts. "David, if I recall correctly, I'm your girlfriend." I couldn't help but make a snarky remark. Ashley's eyes welled up again. The other three started ganging up on me again. David looked at me, a hint of coldness in his eyes. "We're just good friends. Ashley's being harassed, and I'm helping her out. I never knew you were so petty." I didn't want to argue with David about this anymore. Just then, a sharp pain shot through my abdomen. I got up, wanting to go to the bathroom and escape their suffocating clique. But the moment I stood up, the necklace around my neck broke. The ring hanging on the necklace also slipped off and rolled to Ashley's feet. She bent down to pick it up and held it out to me. Only then did I see that she was wearing an identical ring on her ring finger. Only hers was the perfect size. Mine was much too large, which was why I wore it on the necklace. The person who gave me this ring was David. When I was about to be discharged from the hospital, He was afraid he wouldn't see me again. He took off the ring he was wearing and proposed to me, saying H get me one that fit later. But he never did. David, you're really not paying attention to Sarah. How could you give her the matching ring you bought with me? That hurts my feelings too, you know? Ashley also noticed the ring and spoke to David reproachfully. I looked at David and demanded, what's going on? David panicked and immediately tried to explain to me, it's not a matching ring. Ashley liked this ring before, but you could only buy them as a pair, so I went in on it with her. It didn't mean anything else. I didn't know how to react. I fled to the bathroom. Only then did I realize, my period started. I forced myself to forget everything that just happened and went back to the room. David, my stomach hurts. Can we go home? That's a buzzkill, Sarah. Yeah. We wanted to go to a second location. Mike and Chris looked at me with displeasure. Maybe because David felt guilty about what just happened, he actually agreed. Sarah's stomach hurts. Maybe she ate something bad. Well, head back first. He still forgot it was my period started. Seeing this, Ashley immediately suggested they come over to our place to play cards, and I could rest at home. Just as I was about to refuse, David agreed on my behalf. Back home, Buddy jumped on us as usual. Ashley screamed in fear when she saw the excited Buddy and threw herself into David's arms. Buddy seemed to dislike her. The usually gentle dog actually tried to jump and bite her. I rushed forward to stop him but didn't move as fast as David. He kicked Buddy away. Buddy whimpered pitifully and hid behind me. I also looked at David in shock. Immediately after kicking him, David realized H messed up and tried to reach out and pet Buddy, but Ashley clung to him tightly. I'm scared. Sure enough, as soon as she acted spoiled, David softened again, comforting her softly. Then he turned and started scolding me. It's too dangerous to just let a big dog like Buddy roam freely like that. He almost bit Ashley just now. Keep him confined from now on. Why should I? This is my home. We've always let him roam free before, haven't we? I didn't understand why he was getting mad at me again. So I retorted directly and went back to the bedroom with Buddy. As soon as I sat on the bed, I felt a sharp pain in my stomach, having been distracted by them earlier. Now that I was alone, the pain of period cramps immediately overwhelmed me. I opened the drawer to look for painkillers but saw only an empty medicine bottle. Looking out the window, it was pouring rain. Our neighborhood or community has very strict management. Couriers can't get in at night. If I wanted to pick up a delivery, I had to go to the neighborhood or community entrance myself. But right now, I was in too much pain to even stand up. In desperation, I had no choice but to take out my phone and call David, who was playing cards in the living room. Why are you calling me when we're both home? I ordered some painkillers. Can you go down and get them for me? I spoke weakly. What I got was David's refusal. Didn't you hear we're playing cards? You're not a child anymore. Go get it yourself, but outside. Before I could finish speaking, David hung up the phone. I stopped counting on him. Enduring the pain, I took an umbrella and went downstairs. I passed by them during this time, but not one person cared about me. The rain was heavy, and even with an umbrella, it was useless. I was completely soaked. On the way back after picking up the delivery, I saw David walking towards me. I thought he was coming to find me, and a touch of warmth bloomed in my heart. But then I heard him speak, blaming me. Why didn't you answer my call? I wanted you to help me get an iced coffee or drinks. Now I have to come down myself. So he wasn't coming for me. When I got back upstairs, Ashley immediately came to greet him. Thanks for getting us iced coffee or drinks, David. No problem. Ashley wanted it. It'd go down even if it was hailing. Here's a hot one for you. You're on your period today. I stood at the doorway, slow to take off my shoes, watching the scene in front of me, feeling an indescribable sadness. After they finished distributing the iced coffee or drinks, Ashley spoke with feigned surprise. Why did you only order for cups? David, what's wrong with you? David had forgotten me again. Hearing Ashley's words, David finally realized H ordered one less cup. He casually handed me his cup, but looking at the cold vapor rising from it, I didn't dare take it. Seeing me hesitate, David lost face. Sarah, what's wrong with you today? Don't be so dramatic. It's not like I did it on purpose. I'm also on my period. After saying that, I took the iced coffee or drinks, threw it directly into the trash, and went back to the bedroom. Don't worry about her. It's not a big deal. David's tone was guiltier than before, but he was still talking about me. Can't spoil women. Oh, David, you still need to sweet talk women. After all, Not everyone is as understanding as me. In the bedroom, I listened to the four of them discussing me without any reservation outside. My heart was ice cold. At some point, I gradually fell asleep to the sound of them playing cards. When I woke up again, it was almost noon the next day, but I couldn't find Buddy anywhere. My heart trembled, and a terrifying thought emerged. I immediately called David. "Where's Buddy?" I asked directly. David didn't disappoint me. "Buddy almost bit Ashley again this morning. That dog is untrainable. I helped you send him away." Hearing his words, I immediately broke down. "David? That's the only reminder of my parents. Where did you send him?" David stammered, and finally, under my insistent questioning, he confessed. "I don't know. Ashley said she'd help send him away. It was her again. Can you and your clique just get out? I own a pet store. Couldn't you have just sent him there?" I hung up the phone immediately and called Ashley. She answered quickly, obviously knowing why I was calling. "I sent that damn dog away to a cruel place. You own a pet store and you can't even train a dog properly? Just close it down. I'll text you the address. If you're too late, you can only blame yourself for sleeping in." I didn't have time to deal with her provocation and immediately headed to the sent away to a cruel place. But when I got there, all that was left was Buddy's collar. Looking at the photo of Buddy on the collar, it still had my mom's phone number on it. The emotions I had suppressed for days burst out at this moment. I took the collar and went home, determined to break up with David. But at the door, I heard laughter from inside. David had brought them over again. "It's just a dog. Look at Sarah, making such a fuss." But the plan we had back then was perfect. We set it up for her to be harassed. Then David comes to the rescue, gets promoted, and wins her heart. "Ashley, didn't we only say to have Mark teach Sarah a lesson? How did it turn into assault?" It was David asking. Ashley seemed taken aback, and finally said flippantly, "She's easy." After she spoke, everyone inside laughed, including David. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, unable to stand them any longer. I called the neighborhood or community security. "Could you please come to 1620? There are people trespassing in my home." Security arrived quickly. Once they were there, I took out my key and opened the door. David was startled. "You heard what we just said?" I didn't answer him. I turned to the security guards behind me. "I'm the owner of this apartment. I don't know the people inside. Please escort them out." David immediately tried to placate me. "Sarah, it's all a misunderstanding. David and I had moved in a little over a month ago." The security guards recognized David and spoke, confused. "I remember this gentleman is your boyfriend." Yes, that's right," David quickly agreed. I walked to the sofa and sat down, speaking coldly. "He was before. Now he's my ex-boyfriend." Hearing this, the security guards understood the situation and directly ushered the four people who were still standing inside out, and I completely left David, breaking free from their clique. But David didn't see it that way. The next day, he came to my pet store. "Sarah, can you give me a chance to explain?" "What's there to explain? Give me an address for your stuff at my place. I'll pack it up and mail it to you then," I said without looking up. "I don't want that. I don't want to break up with you." I found his current behavior ridiculous and chuckled lightly. He clearly hadn't valued me before. "Even better if you don't want it. I'll throw it away when I get back. It's taking up space." I gestured for him to leave, but David started acting difficult. From his explanation, I learned that Mark was a fervent admirer of Ashley. Those few days, Ashley was annoyed by his harassment, so they came up with that plan. Ashley tricked Mark into teaching me a lesson, pretending to assault me, and then David would come out and rescue me. Afterwards, Ashley would agree to go on a date with Mark. They just didn't expect Mark, that animal, to actually act on his vile intentions towards me. David became more and more agitated as he spoke, but I didn't want to listen at all. He was just reopening old wounds. "This is a pet store. What are you doing here wasting people's time if you don't have a pet? Or are you an animal yourself?" A cool voice spoke up, but the words were sharp. I was amused by his words and looked at him. He was about the same height as David, but his features were more defined. He was holding a leash connected to a cute golden retriever, who was wagging its tail and looking at me. Seeing the golden retriever, I realized I had seen this man before. He used to bring his golden retriever for baths often when my store first opened a year ago. After my incident, I never saw him again. "Little Seven?" I tentatively called the golden retriever's name. Sure enough, it got even more excited. Before I could catch up with Little Seven, David next to me started acting up. "Leo, you just won't leave me alone." Saying that, David raised his hand to hit Leo. David was a police officer, and I was afraid he'd hurt my customer. I quickly stepped forward to stop him, but then I saw Leo grab David and shove him against the wall. From their conversation, I learned that Leo was the guy Ashley liked, and he was also David's colleague. So, the one who admitted having a crush on me was Leo. Seeing the situation becoming chaotic, I spoke to stop them. Okay, stop it. How can I run my business like this? Leo immediately let go of David, who was struggling. Seeing how obediently Leo listened to me, David got angry. Are you two getting together already? Sarah, it's only been a few days since we broke up. Has it even been two? Are people without parents really that desperate for love? David's words became more and more hurtful. My face darkened. Get out. Don't ever appear in front of me again. After David left, I started bathing little Seven. During this time, I didn't pay any more attention to Leo. From what David said, he probably knew David and I had broken up, coming to find me the very next day. His intentions were too obvious. Leo seemed to sense what I was thinking. He stood up and walked to my side. I do have feelings for you. I did before, and I still do, but you don't need to worry. I came today because Mark is out of prison. What? His words made me stop what I was doing. Mark's disgusting face from a year ago still haunted my dreams from time to time. Leo patted my trembling shoulder. Don't worry. I won't let him hurt you again. From that day on, for 2 consecutive days, Leo would pass by my pet store at exactly my closing time with little Seven. Then, under the guise of walking his dog, he would walk me downstairs from the apartment building. I also learned from this that he actually lived in the building right next to mine. Aren't you supposed to be very busy as a police officer? Seeing him seem to have nothing to do every evening, I couldn't help but ask. I am very busy. I took 2 days off these past 2 days. He smiled at me, not hiding his feelings for me at all, but I avoided it. I chose to play dumb and scurried upstairs. On the 3rd day, Leo really couldn't take any more days off. He called me in the afternoon. I can't pick you up after work today. Be careful on your way home. Call me if anything happens. I agreed with a smile in my voice, thinking that nothing much had happened these past few days, and Mark had already been punished, so he probably wouldn't dare cause any trouble. I worked until dark, closed up the store, and got ready to go home, but then I heard footsteps behind me. I was so startled I didn't dare turn around until a female voice called out. I finally breathed a sigh of relief. Sarah, it was Ashley. I turned around. Is there something you need? You shameless hussy. You're already tainted and you still can't be content. Ever since you broke up with David, he barely joins our clique's activities. And Leo, did you use some trick to hook him into coming to find you every day? Ashley seemed to be venting, unleashing a torrent of insults at me. Seeing her like this now, I only found it laughable. I originally didn't want to pay attention to her and just wanted to leave, but when I saw the person across the street behind her, I froze in place. It was Mark. Seeing me like this, Ashley thought I was scared by her insults and was still smug. When Mark crossed the street and came up behind her, Ashley, after he called her name, fear also appeared in Ashley's eyes. What a coincidence. You two are both here, and you're both still so beautiful. Mark walked between the two of us, his gaze lingering lewdly on our faces. Ashley and I were both too scared to speak. Suddenly, Mark took Ashley's hand and started stroking it. I did everything you asked me to a year ago. Can you be with me now? Ashley somehow found the courage to pull her hand away, looking at Mark with disgust. Get away from me. You're disgusting. Mark was enraged by Ashley's words. He reached out and pinched Ashley's soft, pale cheek. You're the one who told me to assault her. You said your friend was in the police station and could get me out, and then you'd be with me. Why did you lie to me? I was completely confused, but I still managed to calmly find my phone in my pocket and dial the emergency contact number. It was the one Leo had set up for me yesterday. After Mark finished speaking, Ashley glanced at me guiltily and immediately started to defend herself. Don't talk nonsense. I just told you to teach her a lesson. You're the one who couldn't control yourself. You're a pervert. After calling Leo, I finally had time to process their conversation. When I understood, I looked at Ashley in shock. My assault wasn't an accident? Did David know? I yelled at her, but Ashley didn't say anything more. Mark watched Ashley and me with a look of amusement, speaking slowly. All right, to beauties. Although I love watching you to argue over me. Let's get in the car first. Mark forced Ashley and me into his car at knife point. Mark was very careful. After we got in the car, he took our phones and turned them off. Then he took us to an abandoned building. Ashley was completely panicked now. She cried and begged Mark to let her go. I'm sorry, Mark. Don't do anything rash. Can we be together? Or do you want to assault Sarah again? I can help you, okay? Just please don't hurt me. Mark had seen Ashley for who she really was by now and wouldn't believe her anymore. He slapped her twice to silence her. As for me, I obediently let Mark shove me into the abandoned building and didn't say another word, because I knew Leo would find me. He had not only set up an emergency contact yesterday but also put a GPS tracker on me. Mark looked at us lewdly. Which one should I take first? He said, looking in the direction where I was tied up. You're no worse than Ashley. I still remember how you tasted a year ago. Seeing Mark walking towards me step by step, I closed my eyes, praying Leo would arrive quickly. Don't move, Mark. The police are already here. You can get a lighter sentence if you surrender now. I opened my eyes. It was David. He had actually arrived first. Seeing only David had come, Mark immediately pulled out his knife and held it against Ashley and me respectively. You can only save one, leave one as a hostage for me. As soon as Mark said this, Ashley immediately spoke up. David, save me. I'm so scared. The moment Ashley's voice came out, David made his choice in almost a second. Let Ashley go. Facing David's choice again this time, I felt nothing inside, just gave a self-mocking smile. Mark kept his word and kicked Ashley, letting her leave. Ashley scrambled into David's arms, and the next second she started crying loudly. David comforted Ashley while looking at me worriedly. I turned away, avoiding his gaze. Mark turned to look at me. Just as he was about to hold the knife to my neck, a figure suddenly appeared behind him. The next second, Mark was tackled to the ground. Leo was here, for some reason. I trusted him completely, even when I had only seen David arrive just now. Even when I was abandoned again just now. I wasn't very afraid, because deep down, I was certain that Leo would come and save me. Mark was arrested, and Ashley and I went back to the police station to give statements, but Ashley didn't seem happy. I want to see Mark, Ashley said after a long silence. I knew what she was worried about. I curled my lips at her and spoke up as well. I want to see him too. Ashley instantly panicked and grabbed David's hand next to her, starting to act spoiled. Can I see him first? No. How about this? Well, bring Mark over and we can all see him together. The police agreed to my suggestion. Seeing that both of us were victims in this case, Ashley immediately deflated and slumped into the chair. David looked at me at this moment and reached out to touch the wound on my arm. I turned away, avoiding his gaze. The next second, Leo stood in front of me, blocking David's sight. Soon after, Mark was brought in handcuffs. Ashley seemed to remember something. She immediately got up from her chair and said softly to Mark, Mark, I know you didn't do it on purpose. I don't blame you this time. I'll write a letter of forgiveness for you to get a lighter sentence. After she spoke, Mark, who had been unwilling to look at her, widened his eyes. Seeing that this tactic worked, Ashley looked at me with ill intentions and spoke, Sarah, what about you? She had cornered me. She was afraid Mark would confess what she did a year ago. The most important thing was that Mark had chat logs between the two of them as evidence. But as long as she appeased Mark now, as long as Mark didn't say anything, Ashley would be fine. David walked up and looked at Ashley worriedly. Ashley, you can't be this kind. Looking at David like this, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. I was laughing at his foolishness. Seeing me laugh, Mark glared at me fiercely, waiting for my answer. I was no longer afraid of him. I looked up and met his gaze, saying firmly, I won't sign it, Sarah. Do you really have to ruin people completely? Won't you give people a chance to turn over a new leaf? Ashley was truly a persistent nuisance. I didn't answer her, just rolled my eyes. Leo couldn't stand it anymore. Seeing I had nothing more to say, he looked at Ashley and Mark and spoke. The details of this case are very serious. A letter of forgiveness won't make a difference. After he finished speaking, my eyes lit up, and I seized the opportunity to ask, what if someone can provide some leads about the case? Can they get a lighter sentence? Of course, Leo replied to me. Ashley panicked again, wanting to stop him. But it was too late. Mark had already spoken. Officer, I have something to confess about the case from a year ago. It was Ashley. She instructed me to assault Sarah. I have the chat logs on my phone as evidence. As soon as Mark finished speaking, it wasn't just Ashley who froze, but David too. Ashley, is what he's saying true? David asked Ashley frantically but didn't get a denial from her. After police investigation, Ashley was imprisoned for abetting assault. As for David, He was also investigated. The results proved he did not participate in abetting the assault, but he did plan to mess with me and ended up getting promoted due to a twisted turn of events that was undeniable. David was also fired from the police station because of this. After dealing with all of this, I felt a weight lifted and was taken home by Leo, but just as I sat down to rest, there was a knock on the door. I thought it was Leo and opened the door directly, but standing at the door was David. Seeing me, he immediately fell to his knees and started crying, apologizing to me. "I'm sorry, Sarah. I hurt you. I didn't know Ashley was that kind of person. If I had known, I would never have let her do that." "Is that so? You don't even know how much you spoiled her? You've been friends since childhood. But was your friendship truly platonic? Or did you just enjoy that ambiguous feeling, that unique ambiguity within your clique? In your clique, I was always an outsider, always unable to fit in, and even our relationship was just entertainment for your clique." I poured out all the grievances I had suffered because of him. After that, without waiting for David to speak, I closed the door directly afterward. I began to focus on my career. Since Buddy was a stray dog adopted by my parents, I would also take in stray cats and dogs at my pet store, or feed strays in the neighborhood community. However, I had only recently moved to this neighborhood or community, and coupled with everything that had happened recently, the little strays in the neighborhood or community were not familiar with me yet and were a bit wary today. I was trying to win over the stray dogs in the neighborhood or community again. Just as I knelt down, they all rushed behind me. I turned around and realized it was Leo. The stray dogs seemed very familiar with him and weren't afraid of him at all. Instead, they circled happily around him. I've been feeding the strays here for almost 2 years. I didn't expect the seemingly aloof Leo to have this side to him. I silently added another point for him in my heart. Little Seven liked me very much. As soon as he saw me, he came to my side and kept asking for pets. Leo also started leaving Little Seven at my pet store every day and would come to pick him up after work, using it as an excuse to walk me home. Just like that, our relationship seemed to be at the point of a thin veil between us. My pet store also suddenly became incredibly popular because my case from a year ago was re-examined. A few social media post videos I had casually filmed for fun suddenly got tens of thousands of likes. I didn't miss this opportunity and started posting videos of the pets on the pet store's social media posts account. I also started live streaming at the suggestion of my staff. All the money I earned, I used as a fund for stray cats and dogs. After live streaming that day, I wanted to go out for some air. As soon as I walked out of the pet store, I saw David and Mike and Chris behind him. "What are you doing here again?" I asked, feeling exasperated. Seeing them now really ruined my mood. David gestured with his eyes to the two behind him. They immediately took a box out of the car's trunk. When they opened it, a fluffy head popped out. It was a little dog, a dog that looked remarkably similar to Buddy. "Sarah, I thought about what you said to me that day for a long time. I brought them here today to apologize to you. And this, I searched for a long time. He's the most like Buddy." After David finished speaking, Mike and Chris immediately echoed him. "Sarah, we're sorry for what we did before. Don't blame David anymore. He really loves you now." I couldn't be bothered to scold them and said listlessly, "He's not Buddy. Since you bought him, please take good care of him." Just as I finished speaking, Leo happened to come to pick up Little Seven after work. David saw him and instantly broke down. "Are you not agreeing because of him? Are you two together?" "It is because of him, but we're not together yet." After saying that, I took Leo's hand and went back into the pet store without looking back. How can she be so ungrateful? Mike's exasperated voice was shut out as I closed the door. After that, David never came looking for me again. As my followers grew, I started organizing activities to help stray cats and dogs to the best of my ability. At one event, I saw David again. He was holding the little dog he had tried to give me. Only then did I realize that he had also become a pet blogger and now had over 10,000 followers. I pretended not to see him, as long as he was truly good to the dog. His profession didn't matter. When the event ended, Leo came to pick me up. As we were about to get in the car and leave, David called out to us. I looked up and felt disoriented for a moment. There was a girl next to David, plus Mike and Chris. I thought I was back a year ago. "Don't worry, I won't bother you anymore. I wish you and Leo happiness. This is Emily, a friend." I curved my lips into a smile and got in the car with Leo, leaving. In my heart, I sighed that some people, a leopard can't change its spots. Without Ashley, there would always be another Emily. I just felt a little sorry for David's next girlfriend. Sure enough, a few days later, a small beauty blogger exposed David online. She posted a long article online complaining about the excessive behavior of David's clique. It instantly resonated with countless girls who had similar experiences online. After reading it, I shared it. Some capable netizens dug up my past relationship with David. David immediately became a target of public scorn online. He completely disappeared from the internet. All of this was just the boomerang effect of everything he had done wrong. I turned my head, wanting to share my joy with Leo beside me, but I saw him looking like a jealous husband. The whole internet knows you used to be with David. When are you going to make it official? I laughed out loud. Turns out, he was jealous. Leo and I had been tacitly together since that event. I hadn't thought about making a formal announcement, but seeing him like this now, I felt it was necessary. I pulled him over and called Little Seven. I took out my phone and took a family photo, then posted it on social media posts and also shared it on social media posts. After doing all of this, I threw my phone to Leo and looked at him, wanting to show off. But he didn't pay attention to me and went into the bedroom without looking back. Just as I was about to get angry, I saw that Leo, who had never posted on social media posts before, had posted something for the first time. It was the photo I had just taken.